Welcome, Transformer fans. My name is Composite Enerjoe, and today's review is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do, because today I'm going to be discussing the Transformer Cybertron Leader Class Optimus Prime. But for those of you who maybe follow my videos, you're probably wondering, wait a minute, I've already reviewed this figure. So for the two people out there who are probably wondering why I'm talking about this Optimus again, and that's because I'm going to discuss his alternate modes. And I don't just mean his robot, his base robot, his vehicle, or even his super mode. I've already discussed that in his own video, if you're curious. But what I'm going to be discussing, for those of you out there who are familiar with this version of Optimus, are his alternate modes that he can achieve by combining with other characters. Well, more like power linking, but I don't want to get into that discussion. But yeah, so the two modes I'm going to be discussing are going to be the Savage Claw mode, where this Optimus, if you were familiar, is when he combined with the character Leo Breaker, and the other one, which is the Sonic Wing mode or Sonic Jet mode. I can't for the life of me remember what exactly it's called, but I think it's called the Sonic Wing mode. Is it Sonic Wing? I think it is. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty certain it's called Sonic Wing mode when he combines with Wing Saber. So, yeah. However, I do not have the original figures of Leo Breaker and Wing Saber. I do, however, have some effective stand-ins. One of them being the Universe Voyager class Leo Prime, this Target exclusive variant. And he'll be my stand-in for Leo Breaker. And yes, he is compatible. And then I also have the Transformers movie Ultra Class Wingblade being the Toys R Us exclusive variant, and he'll be my stand-in for Wing Saber, because both of these figures, which they also have their own reviews. Both of these figures, let me get it a little more centered, are repaints of Leo Breaker and Wing Saber respectively. Wingblade being just a straight repaint. They kept every single feature, even the combined mode. So yes, they are compatible. Leo Prime here also kept the Savage Claw mode ability as a carryover from Leo Breaker, so they kept that, even though here they did make some alterations besides the paint scheme. I think it's also ironic that I did this accidentally, that the regular version of this Optimus, will now combine with the two store-exclusive repaints of characters that traditionally supposed to combine with him. So yeah, today I'm going to show you, the show and then do, I guess, a sort of mini review of each, well, not a mini, a review of each mode of the Savage Claw mode and the Sonic Wing mode. I'm fairly certain that's what it's called, the Sonic Wing mode. So yeah, Wingblade and Leo Prime, both repaints of Leo Prime, are compatible with this Optimus Prime, and you can achieve those modes. So in case you can't find like original versions like I did, at least at a reasonable, as a reasonable way of getting those original versions, these guys serve as good stand-ins, as effective stand-ins, in case you're having trouble finding maybe decent or complete versions of those original figures. So first, I'm going to talk about the Savage Claw mode. So I'm going to take Wingblade and put him off to the side. So where I want to discuss Savage Claw mode, since it's a little bit easier to, it's less involved to get him into that mode. First, we need to set up Optimus, which is relatively simple. If you remember the show, they do a good job showing this off. So what you do is that you take off his back here, just pop it off, and then you can just pretend that it flies off, like in the show. And then you have to get, it works for either arm, but I'm going to do it how it was on the show and have it be his right arm. What you do is that you transform this arm pretty much back halfway, pull it out, and bring it in. Like so. Pretty much you just pick one of the arms and transform it back into its vehicle mode. And then you just pop back in, pop on the backpack. Pop it back on, close it, and there we have it. Now Optimus is ready for the Savage Claw mode. That's it. So that's very straightforward, not too complicated. Watch out, because now he's heavier on one side. That's why we got to get his arm ready. So now we have to get to his his Savage, his part of the transformation, which honestly, you don't have to change much. What you do have is you put down the face. There we go. And then you pop off his robot arms. Pop off these hands. There we go. Bring these in. And then, well, lift these up. Bring this in, the heels in. And then you peg, well, you close these up. Oh, no, not really. You bring these down like so. You basically just peg these in onto these ports. Just close this up. And obviously it looked better on the show, and then you can bring this out as a thumb. But here we have the toy equivalent of the Savage Claw mode. Obviously it did look, and then you can adjust this or something. Obviously this looked a lot better on the show because it was an actual big hand. And I think there's like an upgrade kit out there where it does have the big hand. But yeah, this is the toy version of the Savage Claw mode, and it's, well, let me just combine it. So then you just sort of peg this in here. You may have to push this thing. This thing's actually on a slider. I recommend you, hold on. Yeah, I recommend you slide it, you can see there, back, and then just peg it in. There we go. And here we have the Savage Claw mode. Whoop. Very careful. So then you just push this back a bit. And that's it. Articulation. Whoops. Yeah. Careful, that this, at least on mine, these tend to pop off the extra arms. So yeah, his arm can move up and down, and then the leg articulation is carried over. Oops. Careful, ratchety joints. Here we go. Put this back on. So yeah. I'm gonna say this right now. This is probably, I consider this to be the weakest of the modes, the Savage Claw mode. It looked a lot better on the show. The figure equivalent is kind of meh, but it's still neat. It's one of those, if you have it, it's kind of a neat feature. Also, let me do is activate his cyber key power, which just does look better. Come on. Hold on. It's finicky on mine. There we go. And then I feel like this feature could have been done a little bit better on the toy, on the figure. Excuse me. Oh, darn it. I'm just doing it all like this. Come on. There we go. Flip out the claws. Put the key back. Put this on. And there we have, oh, be careful. Here we have Savage Claw mode with the claws folded out. So now you can have him, imagine him flying towards Megatron and smacking him with the claws. Yeah, it's not that great. But now you know that this repaint of Leo Breaker is compatible. And I just wanted to mainly show that off. And that this is out of the two modes, this is the least involved one. Since all you have to do is sort of, as you saw, just pull off arms, stand them up, and half transform them. And Optimus was even easier, you just fold away his arm. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to take a Leo Breaker. Well, let me take the Savage Claw mode. Put it off to the side. And then bring in Wingblade, my stand-in for Wing Saber, to now show off the Sonic Wing mode, which to me is way better and is a lot more show accurate. It's actually very impressive how show accurate it is. But this is a lot more involved. So to get Optimus in ready, it's easier. It's actually a lot easier. All you have to do, well, first, is remove the back. And this piece is not used at all. Kind of a shame, but you just basically just take it and put it away. Yeah, sadly, the back half of the fire truck, the actual wing parts, are not used in this super mode, which is both good and bad. So let's get Optimus back to this format. So here we have it. And Optimus is now ready. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The main thing for this one, I like that for both modes, Optimus himself is not that, you don't have to do too much setting up for him. And Leo Breaker was Leo Breaker slash my Leo Prime is relatively easy. It's relatively straightforward to get him into the Savage Claw mode. But for Sonic Wing mode, have Optimus like this without the backpack. Let me put him up to the side. And now we have to get him ready. He's a little bit more involved. So first thing, let's get the easy part done out of the way. You pop this off, pop these missiles off, and you put them here on the heels. There's like a thing here. And at the same time, you peg this in to these blasters. So pop this in, pop this in. These will serve as extra heels. And as, there we go. Whoops. These also serve as like extra cannons for this mode. And then you just plug it in. That's one heel. So let's get the other one. Then plug it in. I don't know if this plugging in is meant to is on purpose, but if you watch the show in the wing mode, these pieces, these guns are down the whole time. So those are the heels for those pieces. And next up, we then pretty much have to we have to start transforming him back into his vehicle mode for him to get ready. So first, turn the head around, pull this down. The arms, put him back into robot mode, to the gun hands. Lift this up, like so. And the legs, you're pretty much transforming them back into vehicle mode. Not necessarily. I like to do it that way because it looks a little nicer, a little cleaner. Let's, hold on, pull this up, rotate, then push back, and then just transform the legs back. I prefer, you can pretty much do whatever you want, but I prefer it this way since it has a nice, more compact look to it. All right. Yeah. So yeah, you get the legs. I prefer like this, like that. And he's pretty much there. You fold these pieces out, fold these wings out. This is part of the mode. And then you lift this entire piece forward. Lift it up, and now this part goes onto Optimus. As you saw, it's a little bit more involved, a little more extra steps. So then this pegs into here under the lever. Bring it in, push it in, and then just connect it together. Bring this entire assembly down, and it'll soft click into place. Make sure the chest is closed. It'll soft click into place, and then you open this up. And then last thing is just you bring forward the guns. I prefer like this so that the wheels aren't interfering. And obviously you still have the same articulation here. So there we have it. And there we have Sonic Wing mode. And this looks really, really cool. It's nice and sturdy. I don't know why this one is loose like that. So yeah, this is Sonic Wing mode. And it looks really good. Very good. This is actually pretty show accurate. Very impressive. So out of the two modes, this is the one I prefer. This one just looks genuinely good. Very nice all over. It is a shame that you can't involve the trailer. Oh, and if you're wondering, I'm not going to show it, but you can. Oh, no, you can't. I wouldn't know how you do it. Maybe if you mess around with it, you can also have the Savage Claw modes and then combine into this. But I feel that you have to like really mess with that because it's not meant to do it. I don't see the clearance, especially back here, for you to have the Savage Claw mode ready unless you decide to just rip off this arm, which obviously I don't recommend. Please don't break your toys. I don't recommend anybody breaking their toys. So yeah, looks really good. He still keeps most of his articulation. He is about the same weight. If anything, I think, no, he is a bit heavier since this has, you have all of this back here. Oh, hold on. Since you have all of this back here. And he actually inherits the weapons from, whoa. He does inherit the weapons from, what's it called? From Wing Saber / Wingblade. So let's get his, whoa. Sorry, my bad. If we come here, ouch, and get the sabers from Wing Saber, or in this case, blades of Wingblade, and just make them really quick, he can't hold them. In fact, they were meant for him to be held because you have these little pegs. These are meant for the ports here in his hands. So you just go in here, and oh no, I think it's holding in reverse. That'll be for this hand. Just sort of mess with it a bit, and then line it up. It should. Hold on. Look, I don't know why. I don't know what's giving me trouble here. Hold on. Try not to knock over the camera. Okay, there we go. Then you close the fist. Try again with this one. There we go. Close the fist. And here we have Optimus in his Sonic Wing mode with his Sonic Wing blades. Hey. So he has nice cool weapons, and so on top of the shoulder mounted Gatlings, these things, these extra missiles, you can also carry over by doing this. Like, this is like very much overkill and I love it. You can also, you can't really see it, but you can bring this piece up and around, put it into place, and also do his cyber key power. So let me get the key ready to go. I'm showing it off camera because I gotta hold this with one hand. So then, get it ready. I said get it ready. There we go. So, there he is, supercharged. And obviously you can have the lights and sounds as well. So yeah, you can have all of this, like, awesomeness in one package. So, yeah, said it before, and I'll say it again. Out of the two modes, this is honestly the superior mode. Mainly because it honestly does everything that the show does. Savage Claw mode was an okay attempt, but it is like night and day in my opinion. So yeah. So overall, honestly, I think they're both good in their own way. The Savage Claw mode, I think, was a lot to take in without having the whole big hand thing. So it's one of those, it was kind of unrealistic. But this mode, honestly, looks awesome. This is like identical to how it looks on the show. And it doesn't really hinder his articulation that much. He can still move around, and you can move these pieces around. So very cool. And obviously the missiles still fire and all that jazz. So yeah, this is just a really great mode. So that's pretty much it. Those are the two modes. On the show, if I remember, he does technically get two other modes, but I don't think they're called modes. He basically just gets two extra weapons. One of which was he can get Metroplex's axe and use that as a weapon, and that was a super attack. But I don't think that was its own mode because he's using a weapon. And I believe he also used at one point Vector Prime's sword, and I think that was his strongest form, kind of. I don't remember, because the Vector Prime sword thing was like towards the end of the series, so I don't really remember. He used it, I think, maybe once. But yeah, I do remember that the modes he did use a lot was Savage Claw mode, the Sonic Wing mode, and using Metroplex's axe, which I don't remember if that was its own mode. But that's what he did do. And yeah, and overall, this, it doesn't change, obviously it doesn't change my opinion. Like I said, each of these figures I have reviewed, and I have shown you today that these repaints are compatible with the original Optimus, with the original Cybertron leader Optimus. So if you have trouble finding maybe the original Leo Breaker or original Wing Saber, and you can maybe find these repaints at like more complete or a more reasonable cost, or, you know, whatever, just so you know, they are compatible, so you can get them like I did as a placeholder. Because honestly, I don't usually talk about this, but I got this wing blade complete at a fantastic price as opposed to me finding an original Wing Saber. And I like Wing Blade. It's the same figure. Same thing with Leo Prime, which let me bring him in. Here is the Savage Claw mode. Same thing with this feller. I found this guy at a much better price, in much better shape than an original Leo Breaker. It's just, as time passes, those older figures get more and more expensive. And this Optimus itself took me a while to honestly complete. And he's still incomplete. I'm debating whether I should even try and even complete him, since honestly, as this Prime as is still great as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, overall, these figures I think are all great. This honestly is one of my favorite Optimus Primes, both versions and even as a figure, he's awesome. Like, I honestly did not expect myself to really like this figure, because I've always wanted it even as a kid. By the time I knew about it, I wasn't really, you know, collecting toys or anything. I had like outgrown it at the time. So yeah. Overall, both modes, Savage Claw mode, okay. Sonic Wing mode, really good. It's, I want to say night and day. It's really good. This thing like honestly replicates it, the show version, like quite nicely. Savage Claw mode, still good. It's cool that they can do it, but I feel like it could have been better. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So this has been my review of the Savage Claw mode and Sonic Wing mode from, as with using Wingblade and Leo Prime. And I'm back. So to finish this off, because I'm starting to ramble, overall, I personally like both modes. Sonic Wing mode to me is a little better than the Savage Claw mode, only because it's a little more closer to the show than this one, even though I still think it's very cool that they could replicate it. So that's pretty much it. That's been my review of the Savage Claw mode and the Sonic Wing mode, and also showing off that these two repaints are compatible. But before I go, I want to say something, sort of add on something. I'm not going to stop doing reviews for the two people who are worried about that. But what I am going to say is that I've had a lot of changes going on in my life, and I have this huge event coming up. So I don't know when I'm going to do the next video. Just know that it will happen. I don't know when. Could be, you know, a month from today. Could be 2 weeks. Could be tomorrow. Who knows? I know, not tomorrow. It could be a couple weeks. It could be a couple months. Even next year. I don't know. But I just want to just say that the next time I do a review, all of this is going to be different. The environment, the location, it's going to be different, because a huge and very important life-changing event is happening real soon for me. So for now, for at least the next while, I'm not going to be doing any videos, but just letting you know that I will continue. I just don't know when. But I'm not stopping altogether. I personally enjoy doing these, and I'm honestly surprised how a lot of you out there also like these videos. Like I never thought I'd get any of the views that I thought I was going to get. I basically started this for fun and to keep sort of a catalog of my figures. But yeah, so just don't be surprised if it takes me a while before I upload another video. I'm not gone, just something life-changing is going to happen. So yeah, next time you see me, I'm going to be, well, things are going to be a little different. When that happens, I'll shed some light. But, so yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers Cybertron Leader Class Optimus Prime. Well, his two alternate modes that he had, the Savage Claw mode and the Sonic Wing mode. It might also be called Sonic Blade mode, but that doesn't sound right, so Sonic Wing mode. This is Composite Enerjoe signing off. Peace out, and be safe.